Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Double Flush back with another episode of our 2026 Beginner's Guide to an OP Build and 100% playthrough. Today we are in the Mohgwyn Palace. We're going to take on Mohg, the Lord of Blood, and then we are going to follow it up with just some basic starter gameplay of the DLC Shadow of the Erdtree. I just want to remind everybody, if you get any value from today's content, please like, share, and subscribe, as it helps grow the channel. Now, let's jump into this. So, we are basically just heading up the path that leads to Mohg. We just picked up a Lord's Rune on the way, which is the highest gold rune you can get. I think it's worth about 50,000 runes, if I'm not mistaken. So, lots of good stuff to get in here. So when you're in this little temple here, you're going to encounter these guys that just basically come out of the floor. There is a merchant here up to the left. If you are low on rune arcs or stone sword keys, he's got them there, as well as a couple other things. Those are the key items of that caught my eye. But again, these guys will just keep appearing, so just try to move on as quickly as possible. And if you step in the little pools of blood that they came out of, you will also start proccing bleed on yourself, so try to get out of those as much as possible. Alright, we got a smithing stone 8 times 3, so that's always good. You don't actually need to fight these guys, you can keep running. I just do because, I don't know, because I just like it. Alright, so now that he's dealt with, if we continue up here, we'll notice on the floor that there is a an option to invade White Mask Vare's world, which is the guy who gave us the little medallion to get to Mohgwyn Palace in the first place. And also he's the guy you are introduced to at the very first part of the game when you first leave the stranded graveyard. Alright, so we are going to get the smoke with White Mask Vare. There he is. He's basically just gonna babble and talk shit the whole time as we beat the piss out of him. So, pretty easy work of him. Now this is the final grace site before fighting Mohg. And then up here you'll notice another one of those Sanguine Nobles, along with a bunch of the Albinoric soldiers. So we want to take care of these guys. And then the best way to deal with this, because there's so many of them, is just to kind of try to draw them out and thin out the herd, so to speak. But it's about as well worth it as you can get in this game to get rid of these guys and you know, get to the chest that's up on that platform there. So we're just gonna keep hammering away. Alright, so this is our first Ancient Dragon Somber Smithing Stone of the game that we've received so far, since neither of our melee weapons are upgradable by Somber Smithing Stones. We're going to use that on our Dragon Communion Seal. Alright, now I've also noticed that I don't have a key item for defeating Mohg. Or Mohg. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to travel to this church over here in Altus Plateau. And this is a super important place to visit for a couple of different reasons, but we'll get into that. I can't believe I missed this in my playthrough of Altus. So we are about to be invaded by Eleonora. And she can fuck you up real quick, so just you know, be on your toes when you're gonna fight her, cause yeah, she'll mess you up real good. But you also get one of my favorite weapons in the game, and a weapon that I've also got a current build that I'm doing in Eleonora's Pole Blade, which is such a savage weapon. If you haven't used it yet, I highly recommend you do so. Also, continuing, what's his name? I can't remember his name. The samurai guy. You also get his weapon, which is the Nagakiba. So basically you get two of the best weapons in the game there, and you also get the purifying crystal tier. And what the purifying crystal tier does is it drastically reduces the damage taken by Mohgs, or Mohg, whatever. It's fucking Mohg now. I've decided. So let From Software know that. It drastically reduces the damage taken by his curse that he does halfway through the battle. So we're about to fight Mohg right now. So we're going to get buffed the fuck up, and we're going to jump right into this. So, definitely going to use my Mimic Spirit Ash. Now, Mohg bleeds super easy, but he'll also proc bleed on you super easy, so, you know, that's kind of the trade-off. So this is his curse here, but because we drank our Wondrous Physic Flask with the Purifying Crystal tier, he didn't do as much damage, but if you don't get that Crystal tier, he will basically destroy your whole health bar if he doesn't just end you right there. So, I mean, yeah, you pretty much have to have that. That's a must. You don't necessarily need Mohg Shackle, which you can get in the basement of Lindell. But yeah, it's an easy enough fight. You might just take a couple times just to get his timing. It's kind of like any boss in this game. We managed to do it first time. So now we're resting. We're gonna do some upgrading here, and then what we want to do once we're done upgrading is we're gonna go talk to this person here, and she's gonna tell us to touch the hand here, and that's gonna take us into the Shadow Realm. So, for those of you who haven't been here yet, welcome to the DLC. I love the DLC. It's so challenging, and you'll watch me get owned a few times here. So, couple things when you're in the DLC, you'll notice that everything hits like an absolute truck, and yeah, your ability to take damage and give damage is not near where it is in the base game, and we'll talk about how we rectify that in the DLC. But the upside is that everything drops a lot more runes. As you can see, I've already perished once, and I'm about to do it again. Dude just hit me with the spinning slash. Caught me slipping. Alright, so that's just how quick that things can be ended for you in the DLC. So, anyways, we'll just head back there, retrieve our lost runes, and get the item that we went in there for in the first place. There, he didn't get his Ash of War off on me this time. So we just picked up the Blessing America. It's basically like a one-time flask that heals all ailments and fully restores your your HP. So that's a super handy item to have. Alright, so we're going to head up here and we're going to grab an item that is unique to the Shadow of the Erdtree gameplay. And that is the Revered Spirit Ash. So what the Revered Spirit Ash does is anytime you rest at a site of grace, you can use your Revered Spirit Ashes, and what they do is they basically they boost your summon spirit. So in our case, we're using the Mimic. And also they boost Torrent as well. So well worth getting and well worth taking the time to upgrade. So this is kind of the first area that everybody goes to in Shadow of the Erdtree, and you know, for good reason. There's lots of stuff. You'll notice there's these Shadow Realm runes. And so we're going to head in here. And then inside this chest here is the Blade of Mercy. That is a talisman. And what that talisman does is it raises your attack by 20% for 20 seconds after a critical hit. So if that sounds like something that would benefit you, then use it. It's a pretty decent talisman, I guess, if you're constantly breaking stances. And that is something I would suggest here too, is it when you're playing Shadow of the Erdtree, is defeat all enemies, because I think even just those little shadow guys are worth 700 runes. And also talk to any NPCs or little spirits, because you might just get tidbits of information or items, or, you know, it could be a bunch of stuff. And, like, yeah, defeating those birds. I just got 2 smithing stone 4s. So, I mean, everything's well worth it in this kind of area here. So there's a little mausoleum here that we could go in, but I'm not going to do it just yet because I want to, I just want to go exploring a little bit more, and just show a couple of quick things in the, in this realm.
Lady of that tarnished, guided there by kindly Mikola, weren't we all? I've been battling, you can be sure I'll hold my own. Oh, now did you speak to our dour little friend? If you've yet to do so, you'll find more of our Mikola. If you've yet seen him,
Fight, another. Maybe you can end it, as that one will understand. You know, the Erdtree is my people's enemy. By Marika long betrayal, I believe Nikola's apologies. When he says our delivery will come, but never will I see your kind as we. And yet my oath, I cannot. If Nikola it is whom you would see, then comrade, allow me to give these are the sights. I urge you, as long as you abide by.
So this guy's just going to be kind of a twat to you, but whatever. He gives you the cross map, and it basically shows you where all the Mikola crosses are. And at the at each Mikola cross, there is a erdtree fragment, and those fragments will be used for erdtree blessings, which is exclusive for Shadow of the Erdtree, and at each site of grace you rest at, you have the ability, if you have enough of them, to level up. If you can up your erdtree blessings, basically they're used for increasing damage done and reducing damage taken while in the Shadow Realm. So I think it's about 5% every time you level up of damage taken and damage reduced. So that is pretty much a key thing to be doing when you're doing the DLC. And then the Mikola crosses are also markers, basically, for completing the storyline, and yeah, basically they guide you towards like key places in completing the storyline. So anyways, we are going to continue up the stairs here. There is a kind of mini dungeon here, but we're not going to engage in that right now. What we want to do is just get this site of grace up here, talk to this merchant up here.
Hello there. Together. Many things.
And you'll notice in Shadow of the Erdtree as well, you basically get a whole bunch of new consumables that are exclusive to Shadow of the Erdtree, but you can use like your crafted items you can use in the base game as well. So anyways, we are going to head back down, but we're going to head off to the right here. And then we're just going to kind of scale the cliffside. And bypass these bats. Because like everything else in Shadow of the Erdtree, they just will destroy you. So we're going to rest at this grace site, and we're going to try to farm us some new weapons, because yeah, we're actually going to change up our weapons now. But we'll just see if we can get one, and we're going to try to get what these guys are holding, that big club. So far we're 0 for 2. Let's see if we can make it 0 for 3. Yeah, they're not going to give it up easy. I've had it many times where I've just come in here and first time, like very first Blood Fiend that I've ended, they just drop it immediately. And then I've had other times, much like this, where yeah, they just refuse to give it up. So, you know, that's 5 of them, and I haven't gotten a single weapon yet, so I'm not aware of anything, but I'm sure in an update from Soft has probably made this weapon extremely hard to get because it absolutely destroys and is one of the most broken weapons in the game. But it doesn't look like we're going to be successful in getting one, unfortunately. So we will just carry on for the sake of the video, because I don't think anyone wants to sit here and watch me try to farm for a weapon for an hour. And these guys will have one of two weapons. It's either the Blood Fiend's arm, or they have the I think it's the Blood Fiend's fork, or is it spear? I don't know. Basically, it's a spear. And basically, it's a watered down version of the spear that you get off Mohg, which is one of the best weapons in the game. We could actually switch over to that right now, but I don't want to play with that. I want to play with the Blood Fiend's arm, but I'm pretty happy with the Great Stars right now. As you can see, they are definitely holding their own in the DLC. So now we're going to head up here as far as we can go. We'll get this painting here. I don't know if I've ever found out what that painting's for. Alright, so let's see if we can find our way down here. That ain't it. That ain't it. I think I just have to jump down on the church walls. Alright, so we were unsuccessful in trying to get the weapons we wanted, but we can definitely get some other goodies here. We've got the Blessed Blue Dew Talisman. That is also new to Shadow of the Erdtree. And then we just got the Oathseeker's Armor. Pretty good armor set. No special abilities, just a decent set of armor. Alright, so basically we are back at the beginning again. And I can't believe this, but I do that not once, but twice, where I just run right past the map. Anyways. So this is how I always spend the first little bit of the DLC. I like to just ride around, you know, just get collect a couple of different items, try to get as many grace sites as I can, try to get as many skidoo tree blessings and revered spirit ashes, and then also just try to collect as much items. I really enjoy exploring in these games. That's why I love this game so much, is because of the massive open world. And still to this day in 2026, I haven't found a better game, so that's why I'm putting out videos for this game. So there's a couple little goodies in this village here. Grace site, and also, if I remember correctly, there should be something off to the side here. For those of you who play Night Rain, if you have that DLC, you know these enemies very well. Anyways, we're just gonna finish up looting the village here. I like to be thorough because irrelevant places of the map, I really only want to be there once just to make sure I get all the items, and then I just don't ever want to have to return there. So we'll do that, and then we're going to get across the lake here. Alright, so I think we've kind of got everything from this area here. So I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to get across the bridge now. So as you cross the bridge, there will be a catapult that's going to be launching stuff at you. So, you know, what I do is I just zigzag across, get all the way across, run all the way to the back, and get the gray site. And then once we're at this gray site, we can then, you know, upgrade our Skadu tree blessing, Skadu tree. I don't know how the fuck to say that. We can do that and also just level up as well. And then we can kind of go exploring this village. There are plenty of enemies that could end you, you know, if you're if you're out of sync, or you just have a brain fart. Like, it's so easy to, you know, so easy to just die in this game. So I will say, though, that I find that the enemies in this game are, you know, when you defeat them, they're a little more generous in, you know, dropping their equipment. I don't know if that's just me, that's just kind of something I've noticed. Hit me up with a comment if you've noticed the same thing. We are going to continue that fight because I like all the equipment that that knight has to offer. Oh, well, we got one piece of armor anyways. That's a cool armor set. I like it. And I'll just take these guys out because they're there. Alright, and we're just going to keep raiding the village. We got the Fire Knights Cookbook 2. And I can't remember if there's anything else in these tents on this side, but it's worth checking. Alright, so if we head to the other side here, there's definitely more goodies to be had. There's also pain in the ass perfumers. So so we'll have a quick look around here, and if there's nothing else, then we will be on our way. Oh, there we go. Alright, so there's kind of a fork in the road there. We are going to take the lower part for now. We'll kind of get a more organized path in the next Shadow of the Erdtree video. I'm just kind of showing you, you know, just kind of a basic little introduction to the DLC, and just where to find a couple of little things along the way. So we have another opportunity to farm the weapon we want. And unfortunately, we're like 0 for 20 now. Alright, so this is our first little I guess we'll call it a cave. I don't know, a mini dungeon. These guys, you basically have to hit on their back, which is really hard to do, so I like to just avoid them if I can. So this place is basically just loaded with smithing stones, so I mean, you can always use those. If you don't need them, you can just sell them, so definitely worth picking up. Especially those, because that's smithing stone 7s times 3, which is definitely the more rare ones are 7s and 8s, so that's pretty sick. So we're going to pull this lever, and this giant pipeline is going to come out of the lava. Alright, we got the Smith script dagger. I know, I don't really care. Alright, we're going to get tons of smithing stones here. And what we're going to do is just jump onto this big pipeline here. Yeah, I said big pipeline, I know. We're going to head up this, take these guys out. They drop smithing stones. Oh, and somber stones too. I didn't even know that. And then we're just going to jump off to the right here. And then we're going to go visit this altar. And it gives us the anvil hammer. and an ancient dragon smithing stone, so that is pretty sick. And yeah, that concludes the ruin forged lava intake. So now that we're done with that, we're just going to continue on with our exploration of the area. I'll once again try to farm that weapon. I'm sorry for subjecting you guys to so much of this. Alright, I think I've got most of the Mesmer armor already too, so that's, what, 3 armor sets we've got now? 3 or 4? You also notice when you crack those skulls open, they have a broken rune inside, and those are actually worth 500 runes, so more than double what they were in the base game, so that's pretty sweet. Boom, another cookbook. So this is something new in Shadow of the Erdtree. You'll notice those spirit springs, but they're obstructed. But first we'll head over here, because there's a talisman here. This is the Talisman of the Dread that raises the potency of magma, which will benefit one of my other builds that I've got on the go. So we'll definitely incorporate that in my my other build. But for now, let's go find the obstruction for that spirit spring. So yeah, you'll notice there's just something over top of it. Usually it means nearby there's something that looks like this. And then you just hit it and that will unblock the spirit spring. See, you'll now see that it's operational. So we'll jump up it. And then we're going to go up this mountainside and get to the other spirit spring and rest at the site of grace. And that's going to be it for the video. So if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll catch you on the next one. Okay, cheers.